join us along the way. So, hi, I'm Sanchana, and I will be taking you through the IELTS webinar today. So, welcome to Red Fox Education's, IELTS webinar, and today our webinar is about speaking task 3. So, first let me begin with what exactly we are going to do in this webinar. So, I will be taking you through one of our lessons, and I'll also be along with, giving you some tips and tricks on task 2. You will also be learning what exactly task 2 is, and for all of this I will be using Red Fox Education slides, so you will have the feeling of what exactly we do in classes. So let me just present the slide to you. Yes, I hope this is visible to everyone. Okay. Yes. So, like you can see on the screen, it's speaking part 3, questions, pronunciation and intonation. But today we'll be looking at some tips, some tricks, and about speaking task 3 on whole. Now, to begin with, I would actually like to first, tell you all what exactly speaking part 3 is about. So, again, before that, one step before that, let's first talk about IELTS for those who are new here. So IELTS is an exam that you give when you want to go abroad, and you have general and academic IELTS, and your general IELTS is when you want to, migrate, or when you're looking for a job abroad, and when you want to study at a university, you take up the academic IELTS. Again, dividing that, you have two types of IELTS, that is um, paper based and computer based. So paper based and computer based, there's not much difference, especially the speaking part is absolutely same. There are minor differences in the listening and the reading part, and your writing task 1 changes completely. In the academic you get a graph, and in general you get a letter. So this is what IELT is all about. So you have, like I mentioned, you have writing, reading, listening and speaking. And in speaking you have task 1, task 2 and task 3. We have already done a webinar on task 1, and today we are going to look at task 3. So task 3 is the most challenging part of the IELTS portions. I mean, out of the task 1, task 2 and task 3, and today we'll be looking at some tips to make that easier for you. Okay. So, like it's mentioned here, part 3 of the speaking test is usually the hardest part, and there are 5 to 6 questions, and these questions are related to your task 2. So, in task 2, they generally give you a cue card, and you have to speak about it for 1 minute. And same here in task 3, the questions will be a little related to task 2. And the questions mostly will be scripted, so the questions will already be with the examiner, but sometimes you might get impromptu questions, that's, I mean, made up questions. So last minute, you please don't panic, you can answer whatever the examiner is asking you. So let's just go about with a few things that you must do and a few things you mustn't do. Okay. So one of a very common question that you get is, what kinds of food do most people eat in the country? What is the best answer? I mean, which is the best answer, and everything, all description is given here. So this is how your speaking task 3 part, task 3 question is going to look like. Okay. So now few things that I want you all to remember is, okay, we'll start with don'ts. Okay. Please, many people try to impress the examiner by their thoughts and ideas. I would really suggest that you don't do that, because your thoughts, your ideas don't have to match the views of your examiner. It's okay, they don't really care. They don't care about your ideas and your thoughts. Only your language, your communication, your pronunciation, your fluency, only that matters to them. What you speak is not important, how you speak is important. So, there is no need to make your examiner feel like as if they are in support of your ideas. There is no criteria to mark your opinions during the speaking test, so please keep that in mind. Moving ahead, giving memorized answers is not a good idea. you should try to provide answers on the spot. So there will be chances where you will feel that you can give memorized answers. For example, there's a question and you feel that no, I can memorize this, and I can just change a few words and do it in the examination. Please don't do that. The examiner is going to find out. They will understand with the speed from which you talk, your words, your pronunciation will all give it out. So please be careful. Please don't memorize, and it's best that you give on the spot answers. So again, that is something you'll have to keep in mind. And then moving forward, don't give short answers like in part 1. Many people make that mistake. By part 3, they are already nervous. They are tense. It is a life altering examination. I understand you're tensed. You wouldn't have gotten much sleep the previous night and all that stuff. But don't give short answers. You should provide long explained answers with 3 or 4 sentences. And you can try to give some reasons that will define your point. Um, so when this happens, you automatically have a lot of talking, and you could also conclude your speech with a last sentence. You can add a conclusion which will help. Don't try to overdo it. This is another thing many people do, is they think that if they speak a lot or they overdo it, they will end up getting a lot of marks. So please don't do that. If you want to use a fancy word, make sure that you know the exact meaning of it. Otherwise it will reduce your score. If in case you use it in the wrong context, or um, for some reason you have to come up with the spelling, or you pronounce it wrong, then this will affect badly and the examiner will reduce your marks. So please be careful with that, and use words that you're very comfortable with using in your daily life. A very important thing that I tell all my students is, it doesn't matter whether you use a big word or a small word. What matters is how you use that word, your regular words, how you actually use your regular words. Okay, now coming on to do a certain things that I want you to do during the examination. So first of all, speak confidently, explain your ideas, and yes, to all of the wonderful candidates attending just now, if you have any questions, please drop it in the chat box. By the end of the session, I will answer the questions regarding your IELTS webinar, as well as questions regarding Red Fox education. So we'll proceed, but I'll answer your questions at the end of the session. Please drop in your questions now and then in the chat box. Yes, so speak with confidence. Even if you're not sure whether your answers are good enough, you can still get a band 9. So um, try to speak confidently. Or again, like I said, your content doesn't matter, your pronunciation, your fluency matters. So even if your content is not very good, but your pronunciation and fluency and your vocabulary is good, you might have a really good chance of getting a band 9. Okay. um Again, next, moving on, this many people think is a drawback, but if you do not understand the question, please ask the examiner. Okay, please ask the examiner. They will repeat the question. You could say, could you please repeat the question, or I'm sorry, but I would like to listen to it one more time. So you can use sentences like that, because there's no problem in asking for the question again. We are humans, we don't have to get everything in the first go. So you can ask for the question once again. That will not reduce your marks in any way. And in case you feel that you require some time to think, before answering it, you could ask for time as well. Not for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but maybe just give me a second to put my thoughts together, or something like that. Give them a statement so that they know that you're not pausing because of the lack of words, but because you just want to paraphrase your idea. So this is something that you can do. Now moving on, I would like all of you to see a small talk about from our British examiner, and I will discuss about it as we go along.
Let's look at another question from the exercises in this lesson. Which university courses are the most popular with students from your country? Now, again, this is asked in a general way, so you need to think of 2 or maybe 3 types of subject that many students where you live would like to study once they go to university. Now, the statistics or the facts that you mentioned don't have to be exactly accurate. The examiner is not going to challenge you about that. So it's just what you think might be the things that most students do once they go to university in your country. It could be sales and marketing, could be business management, might be medicine or other sciences. So whatever you think is popular, and just mention a fact about each one, why you think these are popular courses with students where you live.
Okay. So our British expert has explained to us how exactly you have to go about with answering a question, and I would be telling this in the end, but still I'm telling all of you. All of this material is available in our mobile app, and the mobile app is free, and all of the material is free as well. Please do check it out. I will drop the link in the chat box. And now moving ahead with the webinar, as we go along, I will also tell you a little more about the free materials. So now, your pronunciation and your intonation is very, very important. Intonation is the rise and fall in the tone as you speak. So one way that I personally feel helps is when, you know, say you're talking about a sad thing. Try bringing the sad emotion within you. So automatically when you're talking with emotion, your intonation and your modulation again is about pauses and rise and fall. All of this fall into place because when you're talking with emotions, this happens. So let your emotions guide you. This always works for me, and I hope it works for you too. So then, okay, this is again pronunciation, intonation. Let's move forward. Yes. Now, there are a few things in this course that is when you get into it, you will know how to pronounce ed verbs and sentence stress, chunking, intonation. All this is very important. And when you join us, you will have a lot of detailed information about this. You will also have a lot of speaking practice, and we'll have another video from Dave. But before we check that out, I would like to give you a few strategies and techniques regarding you know the exam. Yes. So if I would it would really be helpful if everybody mute yourselves. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So a few techniques before we go into the subject. I mean the other part of it, the test part of it. So when you are given a question, when you are shot with a question, give a direct answer to the question. Don't go ahead and around in circles again and again, trying to prove a point. Just give your direct answer. And please, it's okay whether it's wrong or right, just give your answer. And another thing that comes to my mind, many people, when they're speaking by mistake, if something goes wrong and they make a mistake, they just pause. They're stuck. They don't know what to do after that. You don't have to panic. Either just continue, let the mistake go, continue. Otherwise, say sorry and repeat the correct thing. It's okay to make a mistake. It's not okay to not speak. That is the problem. Please speak. It's okay if you make a mistake. But again, if it's better that you don't make a mistake, but in case you make a mistake, you don't have to panic, is what I'm saying. Yes, define the reason behind your specific point of view. So when you are given a question, define a reason. Now we'll go to some question behind this, and I'll try answering it for you. Okay. Okay. What kinds of food do most people eat in your country? So you can say something like, there is a variety of food available in my country, and people really love to eat a lot of different types of food. But the most common food available in my country is, say, rice. And in rice itself, you have so many different varieties. And I personally like eating rice a lot. And along with rice, I like a lot of other gravies and side dishes. So this is how you go on. When you link something with your personal experience, you automatically have a lot of points, a lot of things to speak about. So that is something that you can do. So make it your put forth it from your point of view. And again, like I mentioned here, it is okay to discuss your life experiences. So in fact, it is better to discuss your life experiences because you know the answer to that. Only you know the answer to that. So the examiner doesn't even know whether you're saying is right or wrong. So use your life experiences, and because you know the answer to that, you sound more confident. And confidence is the key to IELTS. And another thing I wanted to tell you, yes, So while you're giving answers, there's this very common question that arises. Have you traveled by flight before? So now many of us may not have traveled by flight or may not have traveled by the ship.
Okay,
Please
order
mute
जो
yourself, all of you. Thank you. So many of us would not have traveled by flight or ship before, and when that happens, yes. So when that happens, what will you tell your examiner? I'm sorry, I have not traveled by flight before. That will give you just, your answer will be over in few seconds. You don't want that. You actually want to speak to the examiner. So in this way, what you do is you just cook up a story. It's okay. They're not going to check whether you've traveled before. They're not going to ask you for your passport or your flight tickets. So just cook up a story. Yes, I traveled by flight before. I loved it. I saw clouds from my window and the aerial view was lovely. I was a little scared at the beginning. So you can put some points like this. So this is one thing, and then to end with, always conclude, try to conclude, with a sentence by connecting your ideas and examples, to what the question was. So it's better if you do that, because there will be a closure to your entire speech. So now we'll again look at Dave's video, and then I will tell you a little more about Red Fox Education and our courses.
Your turn now to practice some more Part 3 questions. The PDF for this lesson, Lesson 19 exercises, has a number of different types of question on a few different topics for you to practice. Remember, for general questions, we need to give a general answer, so use the language you've learned to do just that. And for opinion-based questions, again, use the right language to introduce opinions and reasons and examples, and add a little bit of extra detail to your answer. We need to aim for about 30 seconds, 3 to 4 complete sentences. Don't forget also correct pronunciation. So put together all of the intonation, sentence stress, and other pronunciation features that you've learned throughout the course, and try and make your answers as best as possible. Good luck with that, and look forward to seeing you in Lesson 20. Bye for now.
Okay, that was from Dave, and so this is how. So he gave you his last minute advice. So this is how our material looks like. You see, we have speaking practice, and then we take you through the entire lessons. You have videos from a British tutor now and then, and you have videos for all the lessons. And I would also like to show you, a worksheet, and we'll see if any one of you are interested. I would also love to work it out with you right now. Okay. So this is how our worksheets look like. So what happens is, see, in speaking, actually you don't do anything like this, but it's always advisable that when you're practicing, you write down, you jot down your thoughts, so that your brain gets the practice of coming up with answers then and there. So let's just go through this. So, do people in your country eat a healthy diet? Should schools do more to teach children about health issues? So listen to the sample answers. Okay, the audio is available again on the mobile app. I'll show you that just now. So like I said, you have to write down all your answers here, and then later you can speak about it. And then the second page, you can see there is the speaking question part 3, and here there are different questions. You could all give it a read for a second. I'll just pick out a few and read them for you. Is organic food healthier than conventional produced food? Why do people eat junk food when it is not good for their health? Are some subjects that you think are there some subjects that you think are not worth studying? Whose responsibility is it to teach children about good behavior? Which university courses are the most popular with students from your country? So this is how your question goes, and then you also have answer scripts, so that sample answer scripts, so that they'll really help you. So you have answers to every of the worksheets. So this is how the course basically is structured. And now to share our mobile app, but before I share the video for mobile app, I would like to tell you that all our material is designed specially by British experts, by British tutors. Mr. Dave himself, the person who you saw speaking right now, he is a British examiner, and he has a lot of tips for you. So you have now we have three different courses: um, beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And all the three courses start from just 5,000 INR. That's a really, you know, um, affordable price. And you have a choice whether you want to do it with an Indian tutor or a British tutor. And in case you choose an Indian tutor, then you get one free session with our British expert, and it will be a mock come review session. You also get certification for all the three courses, and the certification will be mostly of English communication skills. And along with this, for certain students, I would also suggest, or for students, they can take it up themselves. If you want to brush up your English before you want to step into IELTS, we also have a supplementary course that you can use. All these three courses are offered for 40 hours, and there's 4 to 6 people in a batch, not more than that. And another thing about this course is, yes, I already mentioned the price. So these are the few things that the course covers. And yes, you can study all of the material. Everything is available on our mobile app, and this mobile app is free of cost, and you can access it from anywhere. So this is how the mobile app looks like. Okay. Yes, so this is how our mobile app looks like, and you'll have to log in with your email ID or maybe your phone number. So once you've logged in, this is what you can see: online classes, free IELTS online course. So this is without any subscription. You get a lot of free materials: lesson videos, lesson audios, lesson documents, and worksheets. All of this is free of cost. So in lesson videos, you can see there are 42 different type of videos. It starts from speaking, talking about likes and dislikes, to again writing, task 1, bar charts, reading, essential skills, skimming and scanning. So it covers different aspects of the IELTS test. I'll play one for you. And below that, you can see there are related videos. You can scroll through that as well.
Hi there, and welcome to Lesson 5. In this lesson, we're looking at Task 1 Writing, and in particular...
So this is how with every lesson you will get also a video from our British expert, and you have lesson audios. These lesson audios will be really helpful when you are practicing your listening. So I'll play one for you. Basically, these work like podcasts, and they can just uh, go on and on. So yes.
I'm a student at the moment at Kingston University in England. My degree is in engineering. I work as a data analyst for an insurance company in Osaka.
Yes, so this will be really helpful when you're doing your listening, because you will get practice with that British accent. Yes, these are the lesson documents. I'm just opening one for you, and in detail, every single topic is given to you here. Like you can see, it's neatly in slides. So all of this material is free of cost, and this is the beginners material. And if you subscribe to our classes, you will also get intermediate and advanced materials also free. So that is something that you can do. This is the worksheets, and I'm opening one for you. Yes. So this is how you don't directly write an essay. First, you do a little workup, you do a little brainstorming, and then you jump into writing the entire essay. So we really believe that starting from the basic, having the right foundation is very important. So we take you through that process, we guide you, and we really help you focus on your strengths. This is how another worksheet looks like. This is for academic. Along with this, you can also see a lot of videos that will help you improve your vocabulary. You will also find a lot of videos on our Facebook page, YouTube, and Instagram. A lot of different things. There are flashcards, there are conversational videos. All of this will be really helpful. So this is what I really wanted to tell you all. Now let's just look into the questions chat box. Yes. Yes, it will be really good if you use complex and passive sentences, but please don't stick to just complex or passive sentences. The thing is that they want a variety, so you have to speak in simple sentences and then use complex, compound, put in a few past tense, future tense, just mix everything up. So give them variety. When you give them variety, you're telling them that yes, I know to speak, I'm comfortable. So that's one question answered. Okay. Yes, the WhatsApp number is shared. Like you can see, we have given you the WhatsApp number, and then you also have the links to everything here. So, is there any other questions that anybody would like to ask me regarding the webinar or regarding Red Fox Education? Any questions? Any doubts? Any suggestions that you would like for the next webinar? If you have any suggestions regarding, please conduct a webinar on this topic. Please send us a message on WhatsApp, and I would love to do that for you. Okay, quiet audience. Okay, so like I've taken you through the entire process today. So I hope to see you in the next webinar soon. I had a lovely time with all of you. Thank you, and see you during the next webinar. Bye bye. Have a wonderful day.